Hello, welcome. My name's Ivana Pastrenia, and I am a student of Master Choc Sui since 1999. I started as a young girl with Master Choc Sui and was trained directly under him until his passing 2007. From there on, I worked closely with Charlotte Anderson, his partner, till her passing a few years later. Thank you for attending this information on Twin Hearts and the deeper explanation of Twin Hearts, and also for being willing as a soul to transform and to shed light on the earth, which is the purpose of Twin Hearts, to anchor the divine here on earth. I will start with the first part of Twin Hearts, as there are many parts to the actual meditation. The first part is the invocation and activating the heart and crown, and I would like to focus on these today. So let us begin first with the prayer. Please open your hands, palms facing upwards, close your eyes, and for those of you who are pranic healers, please place your tongue to the palate. Close your eyes. To the Supreme God, Divine Father, Mother, to the one in whom I live and breathe and have our being, and to all the great ones out there, to all the souls present and willing to be instruments of love, of light, and of power to serve humanity in whatever form. Thank you for your blessings, for your light, your love, and your wisdom, for illumination, divine oneness, for continuation on the spiritual path, for greatness, for divine mercy and kindness, for abundance and prosperity financially and materially, and for the many, many blessings. Thank you, and in full faith. So as we begin Twin Hearts meditation, the first aspect, or the first part of the meditation, is invoking for divine blessings. Master Choa, when he was teaching, he would always commence with a prayer and invoking his teacher, Lord Mahaguruji Ling, as many of you would know him, and Lord Pamasambhava and Lord Sakyamuni and a few others that he was closely associated with. He would invoke, and the beings of light would enter the space of the room. You would feel the stillness, and you would actually feel blissful. A great master always carries bliss. A true great master is blissful to be around. Even though they have both sides to their character, positive and negative, generally when they invoke and they do the practices of spreading the light and teaching virtues and holding great love for the world, you feel uplifted, you feel transformed in their presence, and that is truly a great teacher. So as he did the invocation, the holy ones would enter, and he would invoke all of them, which means he would allow all of them to come in. So he would first begin with to the Supreme God. Now, when he means the Supreme God, it is not the God sitting, or the being sitting in the tree, which we highly respect, or the God of the sun, which I highly, highly respect, which is Lord Surya, or some of you might know him as the Lord Christ. But he's referring to the Supreme God, which is further out, the galactic sun, which is quite nuclear and very potent. If you look at the Bible where it says you will not see my face without burning, he actually means you won't survive. The power of God is so great that you just don't survive. But he's invoking the Supreme God because the power is from there, and we are all children of God, and we actually stem from there. We're all stardust emanating from that divine God. To the Divine Father and the Divine Mother, that is actually the split of the masculine and the feminine, the actual split of the whole into two. The Divine Father, Mother, the feminine and the masculine, the Divine Mother of the earth, the Divine Father of the sky, as some of you may know in various schools. I hope that helps you understand the split from the highest form down, if you look at the triangle. To my spiritual teacher, he moves down the spheres of the hierarchies. To my spiritual teacher, which was Lord Mahaguruji Ling, some of you may know him as Pamasambhava in previous lives, very powerful teacher, spread work rapidly around the globe. To all the spiritual teachers, now he's referring to Lord Krishna, Buddha, Muhammad, to Lord Sakyamuni, to Sufi masters, to various great ones, to all the teachers, to all the holy masters. Holy masters, some of you may know them by various names. Lord Sambhava is one of them. Lord Christ, Lord Jesus. To all the saints, St. Francis of Assisi, we know from the Twin Hearts. Padre Pio from Italy, and various other ones. To all the angels, now the archangels, Archangel Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel, the four directions of the earth. Those archangels hold a lot of light and have great powers. The angels below them, some of us are guided by our own guardian angels and various angels of the various kingdoms, the mineral, the plant, and the etheric astral kingdoms. And then he moves down into the spiritual helpers. So when you're working with Twin Hearts and you want to materialize something, which some people use Twin Hearts as a manifestation protocol, spiritual helpers actually do. Pranic healers, pranic energy healers, pranic angels will come around while you're doing Twin Hearts, and they're called spiritual helpers to make materialize certain things in your life that are good for you and under grace and in the highest order. To all the great ones, all the great ones of the various kingdoms, the great ones that hold light, for example, to the being of the sea, the being of the wind, the being of the sun, the being of the land, they're great ones. They hold everything together. Thank you for your blessings. So he's invoked the entire invisible forces that we exist in. Our physical body is the densest form of spirituality. I'll explain that to you in more sense so you understand the invocation, because it brings me to tears almost when I invoke. If you can understand God like this, ice becomes water, water becomes steam, steam becomes gas, gas becomes electric particles. It becomes then, electricity becomes magnetism. Magnetism becomes ether. Ether becomes essence. Essence becomes spirit. So when you look at ice, going back to the roots, the ice, it's the thickest physical form. Skipping forward to spirit at the end of what I just said, that is the most subtle form. Now everything from God, which is the most subtlest form from spirit, anchors down and is physicalized onto the earth. So actually your being, your physical body, is the densest form of spirit. Therefore, what is matter? What is the physical body? It is only the physical manifestation form of the inner original force, which is God, the spirit. When you do invoke, when you do call upon these architects, I call them, or designers, co-creators of the Supreme God, the angels, the archangels, the holy ones, our teacher, the Christ, which I work closely with. These are all powerful architects of this magnificent design that we are living on called Earth. And I hope you understand the depths of the invocation, because Master Choa has made a prayer so simple. It looks so simple, the invocation, but actually if you focus in and understand the hierarchies he goes through to pull them into your being as you do Twin Hearts. So from the top, it comes down into your crown and enters into your system. These hierarchies are penetrating you to some level on your subtle bodies. You're actually invoking them into you to hold that light that they carry. And then he says, once you've invoked them and pulled them into you, he says, we thank you for your blessings, for your divine guidance, for your divine love. Because these hierarchies, these higher beings, all they offer is blessings. Because in the higher worlds, the higher blessings are bliss. Ananda. In fact, I remember once with Master Choa, when he was blessing me, I was having two men hold me behind so that I wouldn't fall over. When he projected towards me Ananda, Ananda is bliss, Ananda is blessings. He would push his energy onto me in such a loving way that I went into bliss and I fell over because it was so intense. That's the true power of the Supreme God working through him, and all the subtle holy ones working through him and anchoring into him, and him being part of them, him being part of the architectural design of this incredible world. For your guidance, for your love. And it was absolute love that he projected. And I was in bliss for hours after that. Anyway, that's the story. You understand the power of the invocation. If you do the invocation of Twin Hearts, even just 3 times a day, the way Master Choa said, morning, lunch, and dinner. You do it every time the sun changes. There's great power in that, especially in twilight, noon and twilight. He goes, just alone doing the invocation, your spiritual progress will be incredibly powerful. This is not just, hey, let's do an invocation. This is actually Sharanangati. This is the true power of devotion, of what the Christians call faith. Faith can move mountains. So this is just the invocation I'm focusing on. I hope you understand the subtleties of the great beings that are operating in this. We thank you for your blessings, for your guidance, for your love. We thank you for the divine sweetness. It becomes sweet like nectar. Illumination with this light and this love that pours into you when you do an invocation. God, I can feel them pouring on me. Illumination comes to you because you're activating the heart and the crown, and this is illuminative force. As you'll see some of the holy pictures in the Christian traditions, you'll have a golden halo around St. Francis of Assisi, Lord Christ. They actually carry illumination, divine oneness. This is a very big word that most people don't understand. Well, let's not put that way. Some people might struggle with the idea of divine oneness. What he's trying to explain here, Master Cho, in the word divine oneness, is that we are inseparable. From a light to light point of view, we are inseparable. When I go back to the essence, when I talk about the essence, the spirit, we are all essence and spirit. We only go down the scale of the ethers, the spheres, that we become denser and denser, and then we become more separated from the higher to the lower, right? And you become physical. You only think you're separate because you're attached to the physical body. You only think you're separate, especially to people who have passed over. You think you're separate to them because you're attached to the physical body and you can't talk to them. But in fact, they're actually there. It's just they don't have the senses anymore that we have in this physical form. So it is a blessing to be in a body. You have the senses that give you access to be, do, and have whatever you want on this earth. So divine oneness is actually the ability to see that we're all gods made in the same image of God, light, love, and power. Light, love, and power. Not in the physical sense, but the essence, light, love, and power. That is the oneness that we all carry. So I hope you get that. I hope you can see that when streams of light come out of your heart and go to another person clairvoyantly, that's almost like a matrix, like a, how do I explain this? You'll have light beams coming out of you and light beams coming towards you. We're all one. We're all interlinked. That's the divine oneness he's talking about. On the physical densest form, we're separate. So I hope you can see the higher to the lower. Then he goes on to say divine help and divine protection. Why would he say that, divine help and protection? Because there are certain forces in the globe, in the whole galaxy, that are opposed to holding light. There is an inner and outer wall, black and white. This is really a basic level understanding of this, but the Bible goes deeply into this and explains it in great. I'm sure in other holy books that this is explained as well, if you're able to decipher the information. But divine protection is about you as a lineage of the White Brotherhood, as a lineage of Master Cho Kok Sui's work, the twin hearts, the divine light anchoring the earth, Lord Pamasambhava, Lord St. Francis of Assisi, and all the holy ones, the light holders, have to stay strong. Light penetrates darkness, remember that, and it is endless. Protection is always needed for when there might be retaliation in some form or another. But as you hold more light, less and less will affect you. But at the beginning, as you're on the path and just initiating your path, there will be a lot of challenges, so you need the protection to survive, okay? I hope that makes sense. We thank you for, and then he says, we thank you in full faith. So he always goes back in full faith because it's with the faith, with the devotion, with Sharanangati, super receptivity, internally, not externally, internally, that no one can see except you and feel. That faith will move mountains in your life. That invocation, just on twin hearts, if you can understand that, the depth of it, that is power on its own. I'm going to leave you, that's the first segment of Twin Hearts. I'm going to leave you with the invocation. I hope you've got something out of that. I hope it has shifted your perception on the depths of love I have for God. Thank you. God bless you.